Hello everyone, this is Scott Caruso from CPD 1401 here with my week 4 reflection video. I apologize in advance. I'm kind of doing this a little bit out of order this week simply because of the timing. I'm actually moving and in the middle of the process of moving and working, so I actually have to record the reflection video in a quiet place I managed to find a little bit before my application is completely finished. Everything except for the filtering that is going to be there is done, so I'll show you that, but I just wanted to give you that little bit of insight into where I'm at this week. The thing that I thought was most valuable and that I got the most out of this week was simply getting the opportunity to try to develop the same application across two platforms, and in many ways it made developing on the Android device, which is the second one I did, easier than developing on the iOS device. I chose the iOS device first because I'm more comfortable with that platform, and exactly what I thought happened was it made it easier to develop on the Android because I already had done the pre-planning in terms of how my application needed to use data and how I wanted to structure the methods and whatnot that were being used. And though I couldn't obviously just copy code from one to the other, it did make it a little bit easier to have that other code to refer back to solve problems quicker within the code that I was building. The most challenging thing for me this week, I think, was simply having to do it within Java, within Android. I am much less comfortable developing on Android. I don't really know why it is. I don't have a good reason for that. I feel like developing not just the interface but the actual application itself is easier for me on an iOS device. The SQL management is easier on Android. I will definitely grant it that. But I find overall development, for me anyway, to be a little bit easier on the iOS. So that was what was most challenging for me this week. I wish I had more time because there's a lot of things I would have done differently. I would have made the interface look a little bit better. I would have added more, eye-popping features like alerts and network traffic or network connectivity messaging, things like that. But in an effort to make sure I got all the requirements for the application down, I had to forego a lot of those things that I would have loved to do if I wasn't so bogged down with moving. Because, like I said, I'm actually relocating to Louisiana tomorrow, in fact. So it's been a hectic couple of weeks for me. Finally, in terms of things that could use more clarification, it's not so much an individual thing or things that could use more clarification, but rather I feel like there are still a whole host of things that we can do with databases, whether it be within the SQLite that we've been using on the devices, or more advanced databases like an Oracle database or something like that. I feel like there's still more research that I need to do into being able to be an effective database administrator, or just be able to administer my own databases rather. So now let's take a look at the application. I apologize. I actually was trying to get this to work on a screencast, but my screencast software was not behaving very well. As you can see, if you remember from my iOS app, it looks very similar to the iOS app. You get the placeholder album image right there, and fields for the album, the artist, the year of the album, and the genre of the album. So you flip through the different albums and you get different options. These are unselectable until you enter something like edit mode as an example, and then you can actually edit. So let me change the name of Boys to Men to Boys 3 Men, just as an example. So now it's Boys 3 Men. Boys to 3 Men actually is what I typed in apparently. So now we confirm that. And you can see here that it dynamically updates the table below it, and when I sync it up to the server, it updates again. You can also, as you can on the other application, delete. I just deleted one of my albums there, and you can also add new albums as well. So it functions exactly the same as the iOS app functioned. The only thing that is not here yet is the filtering, like I said, which will be coming later today and will be in the final version that gets submitted. But this is the application so far, and it's been a pretty good week 4. A little stressful with all the other things going on. But all in all, a good week. Hope everyone else had a good week 4 as well, and I will see you all next month.